Yes, ma'am. Oh, ma'am.
So DNA is a polymer of deoxyribonucleotides. And how will you know the length of DNA? You can know how many nucleotides are present, number of nucleotides, or you can say pair of nucleotides, or you can say in terms of the base pair also. These are the criteria by which you can find the length of DNA. And main important thing, they are the characteristic of an organism. It is also a characteristic of an organism. For example, bacteriophage. Bacteriophage is a virus which infect bacteria. For example, this bacteriophage is having 5174 is having 5386 nucleotides. Only nucleotides, no base pair, no pair of nucleotide. It is only nucleotides. Another bacteriophage, lambda, will have 48502 base pair. Next, E. coli will have 4.6 into 10 to the power 6 base pair. Human haploid content will have 3.3 into 10 to the power 9 base pair. So all this, my suggestion, you write it here so that it will be easy for you. This is a numerical data. Okay, and if they ask the question for your board exam or for competitive exam, you will not do mistake. So write along with me, 5174 will have 5386 nucleotides. Only nucleotides, not pair, nucleotides. Then lambda. Lambda will have 48502 base pair. E. coli. The first two were of virus. This is bacteria. E. coli, bacteria. How many? 4.6 into 10 to the power 6 base pair. Human. For human, haploid content means N content. Haploid means N. How much? 3.3 into 10 to the power 9 base pair. Just write it. It will be helpful for you for your learning. Now, let us study the structure of polynucleotide. We already know what is DNA and RNA. They are the polymer of nucleotides. What we are saying, they are polymer of DNA is a polymer of deoxyribonucleotides. RNA is a polymer of ribonucleotides. It means two main nucleic acids are there, DNA and RNA. So which two main nucleic acid are there? Nucleic acid are two, that is DNA and RNA. These are two main nucleic acid. And we call them as they are polynucleotide because they are polymer of nucleotide. So we call they are polymer of nucleotide. So they are, we call them polynucleotide chain. Now what is nucleotide is having? I'm just rubbing it. See here, nucleotide has three components. What are the components present in the nucleotide? Three components are there. First is sugar. Which sugar? Pentose sugar. They are having first component is pentose sugar. Which sugar in RNA? Ribose. And in DNA? Deoxyribose. So sugar is clear. RNA will have which sugar? Ribose. Try to write along with me. It will be helpful for you. And for DNA, which sugar? Deoxyribose. Then second, nitrogenous base. Nitrogenous bases. How many types of nitrogenous bases are there? There are two main type of nitrogenous bases, purine and pyrimidine. I'm using the blue color. See here. There are two type of nitrogenous base, purine and pyrimidine. How many types of purine? Two type, adenine and guanine. And how many types of pyrimidine? Three types, cytosine, uracil, and thymine. Now let us write here. In case of RNA, adenine and guanine will be there, but thymine will not be there. It will be cytosine and uracil. Here, adenine and guanine will be there, but cytosine and thymine. So basically, if you see, what you will find, cytosine is common for both DNA and RNA, and thymine is present in DNA but not in RNA. What is present in RNA? Uracil is present in RNA. in place of thymine. So only difference is here, remaining is same. Nitrogenous bases are same. So two are clear, sugar and nitrogenous base. And what is a third component? Third component is phosphate. Third component is phosphate, which is same in both. Now let me rub and highlight the point so that it will be easy for you. So if you come here, see the theory. Nucleotide has three components. What are the three component nucleotide has? Number one, nitrogenous base. Number two, pentose sugar. And number three, phosphate group. I hope so this much is comfortable for you. Is it fine? Can we move further?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, how the sugar is attached with the nitrogenous base. Now, let me explain you this diagram. Understand the numbering of this diagram, please. This is carbon number 1, carbon number 2, carbon number 3, 4, and this is fifth carbon. Try to do this numbering with every carbon. You will find your answer. You are getting it easily. Just try to do this much. It will be helpful for you. And now you tell me carbon, this is a nitrogenous base. Nitrogenous base is attached to which carbon number of sugar? This is nitrogenous base. A is attached to which carbon number of sugar? Tell.
1.
Yes.
First carbon.
Yes, it is given here. A nitrogenous base is attached to OH of first carbon of pentose sugar. Which bond? What is the name of the bond? N-glycosidic linkage. And when the sugar and nitrogenous base combine, we say nucleoside is made. Only nucleoside, not nucleotide. Please understand. So this bond is which bond? This is N-glycosidic. I'm highlighting with this color. This is N-glycosidic bond. The sugar is attached, or you can say nitrogenous base is attached to the first carbon of the sugar with the help of which bond? It is N-glycosidic linkage. And you can do one thing, you can write, when sugar combined with nitrogenous base, what if we make? We make nucleoside. Nucleoside. Learning tips, how to remember? From the diagram, you can see sugar and nitrogenous base. Only two things are there. Now, different type of nucleosides. I'm just rubbing it. We have already covered this point. What are the different types of nucleosides? Three main, if you see, in case of DNA, we will use word deoxyribo. We will say, I'll highlight with another color, try to understand. For DNA, we will say deoxyadenosine, deoxyguanosine, deoxycytidine, or deoxythymidine. These are the name of the nucleoside in case of DNA. But what is in case of RNA? In RNA, we will say adenosine, guanosine, cytidine, uridine. Is it clear? So these are the name of the nucleoside of DNA respectively and RNA. First is, this is, I have highlighted yellow color with DNA. So in DNA, you have to add word deoxy. Learned up till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Acha, now tell me by seeing the diagram. Phosphate is attached to which carbon?
Third and fifth.
And to one more carbon it is attached. Which carbon? Which carbon?
That's the fifth one.
It is attached to its own by fifth carbon. So when a phosphate is attached to the fifth carbon of nucleoside, by which bond? What is the name of this bond? Bond name is phosphoester linkage. Bond name is phosphoester linkage. Okay, then what we make? We make nucleotide. Nucleotide is made. So in this diagram, I have explained you two bonds. I have explained you two bonds, N-glycosidic, and I have explained you ester bond. Now for your learning, I'll just do one thing. I'll rub all these bonds which are creating confusion for you. This is actual mein polymer. I'm not showing you right now polymer. I'm just showing you these are nucleotides. How many nucleotides on the board are there right now? Just check and tell me how many nucleotides are there on the board. This is one nucleotide.
4.
Second nucleotide. This is third nucleotide. And this is 4 nucleotides. And now these 4 nucleotides I have to join. I have to join. And when I have to join, I have to join these nucleotides. How will I join? I have to establish one bond. Which bond? I have to make a bond between, see my diagram very carefully. I have to make a bond between, check, third and fifth carbon. Am I right?
Yes.
So two nucleotides, they are joined by 3' to 5' because this bond is present between third carbon of one nucleotide to the fifth carbon of another nucleotide. Which bond? Bond name is phosphodiester linkage. So this green color is what? This green color is phosphodiester linkage. And if you see this diagram, what you will find in this diagram, analyze carefully, you will find in this diagram, at one end, phosphate is free. At one end, third OH is free. Phosphate is free, which is attached to the sugar fifth end, and here third OH is free. Now see, a polymer which is made has at one end free phosphate, at the fifth end of sugar. We say this is fifth end of polynucleotide chain. Another end, you will find the sugar has free OH at third group. We say this is third end of polynucleotide chain. And this is the backbone of DNA, which is made by, who is making the backbone? Backbone is made by sugar and phosphate. Nitrogenous bases are not making backbone. Please understand, who is making the backbone? Only sugar phosphate is making the backbone. Nitrogenous bases are attached to sugar from the backbone. So just read this much. If you have any doubt, then ask, then I'll move further. If I ask you a question, what is this one? So please try to help me out. What is this bond? Tell me, what is this bond?
N-glycosidic bond.
Very good. Learned. Very good. Tell me, what is the name of this bond? 1 minute. This bond.
Phosphoester bond.
Very good. How many glycosidic we have drawn? 4.
4.
How many phosphoester we have drawn? 4.
4.
And now 1 minute. 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. And this is what? This is phosphodiester.
Phosphodiester.
How many phosphodiester? 3.
4.
No, 3. Pink
4.
color is 3 only.
Oh. Okay, 3.
So now question. If I ask you, 5174 has this many nucleotides. How many diester are present in this? Tell me. How many diester bonds are present if this many nucleotides are present? Again, I'll ask you, tell me how many nucleotides were there on this board?
4.
So how many diester? 3?
3.
The formula for diester formula is number of nucleotide minus 1. Minus 1. That is your answer. So now if this many nucleotide, then what is the answer?
3.
No. If nucleotide is 5386.
Oh, 5385.
Yes, correct. How many diester are present in 5174? Your answer will be 5385. Simple. Learned?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, if you come here, see in RNA, what is the difference in the sugar of RNA? Let us study the diagram of the DNA and RNA. This is a pentose sugar, carbon 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is fifth. This is a diagram of 1 and another diagram I'm drawing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is fifth. Check what change I'm doing it. You will only check and tell me. Can you find one change?
Position of OH.
No. Remaining is same. Here actual में at the carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4, carbon 5. And if you see here at the second carbon, you will not find O here. It is here OH, but here is only H. Can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the difference? In RNA, every nucleotide has additional OH group present at the second position in the ribose. So this is for the ribose sugar. And this is which sugar? Deoxyribose sugar. This is the only difference, no?
Yes, ma'am.
By DE word means what? Removal. Removal. Oxy means oxygen. So you are removing oxygen. From which position? From second position. I think so I have explained the diagram also. Then another difference. What is another difference in the DNA and RNA? RNA, uracil will have. In RNA, uracil is present in place of thymine. Now, what is another name of thymine? Please learn it. Another name of thymine is 5-methyl uracil. This is a chemical name for thymine. So just see if you have any doubt up till here, please let me know.
No doubts, ma'am.
Now, discovery. DNA, full form of DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. So it is an acidic substance present in the nucleus, was first identified by Frederick Mischer, 1869. But he didn't use the word DNA. No, what he used the term? He used the term nuclein. The Frederick Mischer, he used the term nuclein. Inside the nucleus, the nuclein. Then next, but because of technical limitations, they were not able to isolate the DNA long, the structure of DNA, they were not able to make it. But in 1953, James Watson and Francis Crick, these two fellows have they have proposed a very famous model, that is double helix model for the structure of DNA. Understand the way I'm doing skip reading. In 1953, James Watson and Francis Crick has proposed a very simple and famous double helix model for the structure of DNA, but based on what study? Based on X-ray diffraction, which is produced by Morris Wilkin and Rosalind Franklin. These two people, they have produced the X-ray diffraction. They have produced it, and based on their X-ray diffraction data, these two people, they have proposed double helix model of DNA. Important, one of the very important hallmark, you can say, success was because of this reason ki base pairing between the two strands of this DNA. Important was ki pairing is going on between the bases. That was very important. And this proposition, which we say ki one of the important hallmark of this, their proposition was base pairing, but this proposition was based on the observation by Chargaff. So double helix model was based on X-ray diffraction data. And we say important hallmark of their proposition was base pairing, but base pairing proposition was given by Chargaff. What he told, now this line please read carefully. Ratio between A and T and G and C is constant and equal one. We have to read it two ways. It is constant. This is constant. And ratio between this is equal one. This is base pair. A pairs with T, you know very well. A pairs with T and G pairs with C. It is always constant. Because for this, I will say this way. Prokaryotes are rich in GC base pair. And eukaryotes are rich in AT base pair. Understand this line very carefully, please. And what does this means? This indicate whatever number of purine, same number is pyrimidine. That is why it will always be equal. Now, based on this numerical questions, if suppose I say my double strand DNA is double strand, and A, if I'm telling you as 30%, and if I'm asking what is G, tell me, then how will you solve it? You know, A is 30%, so T will also be 30%. Total, how much is gone? 60% is gone. Out of 100, how much is left? 40 is left. 40 means 20 will be G and 20 will be C. So you will say answer is G is 20%. This is your answer. You will say G is 20%. Because you know, this is the Chargaff rule which says कि number of purine by pyrimidine is always equal to 1. So once again, I'll just write for you. Please understand this line very carefully. If you want, you can make a note of it also, because this is actually very important. And how to read? First is base pair by base pair constant. For a species, it is constant for a species. So base pair by base pair means A plus T by G plus C. Then write down purine by pyrimidine equal to 1 means A plus G by T plus C is equal to 1. So understand the concept carefully, and this is relation to this. So up till here, please read it. If you have any doubt, then ask. Now, base pairing gives very unique property to the polynucleotide chain. First of all, we will say they are complementary to each other. It means if you know the sequence of one strand, second strand you can predict. If the sequence of bases in one strand is known, then the sequence in other strand can be predicted. Second is, if we use this strand as a template, then we can get exact copy also. If each strand from a DNA act as a template, the two double strand DNA produced will be identical to the parent. And you can say this is the one big puzzle is solved, because people were struggling this only, how the inheritance of the character will be coming. Because of this, the genetic implication of the structure of DNA became clear. So you can say base pairing gave very unique property. Unique property, which two unique property? First, because of the complementary If you know the sequence of one, second, you can predict. Second, if you use them as a template, the two daughter strands which are produced, they are identical to their parent strand. Now, what are the salient features of double helix DNA? Number one, first of all, you should know that they are made up of two sugar, two polynucleotide chain. And who is making the backbone? Backbone is made by sugar phosphate. And bases are projecting inside. Please, this is again important. They are not outside. They are projecting inside. Second point is that the two chains are anti-parallel. The two chains are anti-parallel. Anti-parallel means if one strand I'll write it 3 dash to 5 dash, another strand for another I'll write 5 dash to 3 dash. Clear? Arrow every time, arrow I should point out to 3 dash only, this way. Clear? Then
Yes.
the bases in the two strands, they are held by hydrogen bond. Adenine will make two hydrogen bond with thymine. So you can write down A pairs with thymine by 2 hydrogen bond and G pairs with cytosine by 3 hydrogen bond. As a result, always purine come opposite to pyrimidine. You know very well, A is purine, T is pyrimidine. You know G is purine, C is pyrimidine. Clear? So uniform distance is maintained between the two strands. And uniform distance between the two strands is 2 nanometer. Then the two chains are in the right-handed fashion. They are coiled in the right-handed fashion and the pitch is 3.4 nanometer, which will have nearly 10 base pair in each turn. To understand, first of all, let me draw the DNA here. This is the way. This is major group, minor group, and major group. One turn I'm taking from one major to one major. This is one turn, and one turn means 10 base pair. 10 base pair means 3.4 nanometer, or you can write down 34 angstrom. Any unit, please write down. Clear? It means distance between one base pair. As a result, distance between one base pair is 0.34 nanometer or 3.4 angstrom. Clear? Just note down all these points up till here. Now, this is again very important. Plane of one base pair stack over the another. This property, first of all, this is a very important property which is giving stability to the helix. First, this is giving stability. Second, hydrogen bond. So this, in addition to hydrogen bond is giving stability, and plane of one base pair is stacking over the another. This is also giving stability to the helical structure. So if they ask you question, the helix structure of DNA is stabilized by, first point is hydrogen bond between the two base pair. Second is plane of one base pair stack over the another. One base pair is stacking over the another. See this is exactly on this one. Top one is exactly on top. So it is giving stability, because if you read the line carefully, this in addition to hydrogen bond. So first is hydrogen bond, and this plane also is giving stability to the double helix model. Clear? Now, if I ask you question from here, you please try to help me out. You know very well this is glycosidic. I'm doing glycosidic work. Clear? This all are glycosidic. Nitrogenous bases with glycosidic. And you know this is 2 ring. Purine is 2 ring. Purine is 2 ring. Pyrimidine is 1 ring. Please diagram based question of NCERT for your board, for your competitive point. Please learn properly. Purine is 2 ring. You can see 1 ring and this is second ring. Pyrimidine is always 1 ring. Opposite of purine, pyrimidine is coming. If here is purine, this side is pyrimidine. Two ring never pair with two ring. One ring never pair with one ring. Clear? Red color I
Yes.
use for N-glycosidic linkage. Now I'm using this color is for phosphoester linkage. This is phosphoester. This is phosphoester. Phosphoester. Understood this diagram up till here?
Yes.
Now you tell me, isn't this diester? Is it right?
Yes, ma'am.
How many base pair are there right now on the board? This is one base pair, I'll tell you. This is one base pair, second base pair, third base pair, four base pair. Tell me how many base pair are there?
4.
Very good. Four base pair are there. It means total how many bases? Total 8 bases. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me how many diester are there? Green color was diester bond.
6.
So it means if they give you base pair, you have to first do multiply it by it. You will get the total. -2 will give you answer for diester or not. Can I make this as a formula?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear na? Pakka?
Yes, ma'am.
Now question. In this case, lambda phage has this many base pair. Tell me how many diester bond will be there. Solve. Formula I gave you, base pair multiplied by 2, whatever total you will get, -2 is your answer.
Nine seven double zero two.
You have calculated now. I told you the trick how to solve it.
Yes.
Chalo, good. Same you have to apply for others also. For E. coli, for this thing, human haploid content also. Now this proposition of the double helix structure and so much simple structure, okay, it became like a revolutionary. Francis Crick, he proposed central dogma of biology. According to central dogma of biology, DNA can make DNA by the process known as replication